Ahead on NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
On this week's special live edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman, an in-depth look at the beef cattle industry in the great state of Tennessee. NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman Live starts right now.
And now, a live edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman with host Kevin Oxner.
Hello and welcome to this week's special live edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. I'm Kevin Oxner. Thanks for joining us. It's time again to head to the Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show. This year, we're headed to Nashville, Tennessee, otherwise known as Music City. Let's take a look at what we have to look forward to next week.
From the moment the doors open, it's clear the Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA Trade Show is the place to be for cattlemen. This is the largest U.S. cattle industry event in the country and offers a unique blend of business, education, and fun. Attendees have an opportunity to get information about critical issues affecting the cattle industry and to have their voices heard during the policy decision-making process.
This is where we make decisions and figure out where we're going to go. You know, the checkoff folks and the policy folks, we're going to have lots of meetings here and hash over a lot of issues that this industry's got.
This is where I can learn more in a few days about what's going on than I can in a month of reading. So I come to learn what's going on and try to participate as best I can to shape our future.
You get to come here and express your opinion. This is your chance to have a stake in the game, and your opinion's always well received because generally in there that's where ideas are born. And somebody needs to speak to an issue to get things started, and sometimes that's me or you.
You know, there's an old saying, you may not be on the cutting edge of an issue, but you darn well better be on the sword. And so I believe by coming here that I can remain on the sword about every issue facing the beef industry.
For those looking to find out about the latest in cattle-related products and services, the NCBA Trade Show features hundreds of exhibitors. Representatives from companies and organizations will be on hand to outline how they can help improve a cattleman's bottom line in 2012 and beyond.
I think the NCBA trade show is one of the best industry trade shows I've ever been to. There's so much under one roof to see that you can't take it in one setting. It's definitely have to spend 3 days going through it.
I always love the trade show. Love to visit with the folks that I spend all my money with, and love to visit with and see what's new, what's on the horizon, and what's coming.
Educational opportunities provide more reasons to attend. Events like Cattleman's College help to educate attendees on a variety of topics important to all sectors of the beef industry. This year's sessions will touch on a number of issues, including reproductive technology, beef safety strategies, and value-added management practices.
In terms of one-stop shopping, in one day, people can get the same value that they might get from 3 or 4 other conferences because of the way that we structure this and the quality of the folks that we bring in to present.
I've been to several NCBA Cattleman's College events, and they always have a great assortment of topics, and it's nice to be able to pick and choose to ones that you think might benefit your business, and we always enjoy coming.
Events designed especially for younger cattle producers give an extra kick to the convention. The programs designed for cowboys and girls ages 9 and up focus on education, leadership, and teamwork.
We invite youth from all over the country to attend. You don't have to be a member of NCBA to participate in the youth contest, but we want them to see what NCBA is all about. And so we do have a cattle judging contest and a team marketing contest, and the quiz bowl, of course, and a public speaking contest with 3 age divisions.
This trip to Nashville isn't just about work. Attendees will also have a great time hanging out with fellow members of the cattle industry.
It's a great event, not only for learning, but it's also a fun time as well. As I said, part of being a part of the industry is the camaraderie. And when you get cattlemen together, they're going to have good fun, but they're also going to have some serious discussions. And it's always great to see fellow cattlemen from across the nation.
It's always meeting other cattlemen, old friends and new friends, and just sharing stories. That's what I always look forward to about the convention.
It's just kind of like a little bit of a family reunion. We all get reacquainted and complain about the weather or whatever else is wrong with us, and kind of enjoy our time here.
I have to come up here to get all my hugs. So anyway, it's just really great to be able to see everybody and hear the different opinions and what they think the future holds for us and what have you.
I have a lot of people ask me back home, how can you afford to go to this convention? And my quick and simple answer is, I cannot afford not to.
Thousands of cattle producers have found out over the years that the Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA trade show not only helps you become more profitable, it's also a whole lot of fun. Reporting from Nashville, Tennessee, I'm Brian Baxter for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
And joining us in the studio to tell us a little more about what we can expect next week is Kristen Torres, Senior Director of Association Marketing, and Marvin Kokash, the Vice President of Marketing and Membership. Thank you both for coming to the show.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.
Well, Marvin, let's start with you. Why should people spend their time and money to attend this once-a-year event?
Kevin, as you know, this industry is very dynamic, and there's a lot of changes going on in it. And at the NCBA convention, it's a chance for you to go to Cattleman's College, enjoy the education seminars. We have world-class speakers, a world-class trade show with over 260 exhibitors, and watch companies launch new products and new technologies that can help you on the operation be more profitable, and again, and another thing is actually networking with other cattlemen and just really being a part of that industry family that we have. So.
Plus, it's a whole lot of fun. And Kristen, I have to say, I didn't think you could top last year, but looking down through the schedule of activities, it looked like you successfully did that. Tell us a little bit about some of the highlights.
Yep, we're going to top it for sure. We're going to have live music all over the place at the convention center, all over the trade show floor. On Thursday night of the convention, we're going to have a big honky-tonk party out at the Gaylord. And then on Friday night, we have a great event over at the Grand Ole Opry. We're going to have Josh Turner, the Oak Ridge Boys, and Charlie Pride. It's going to be a great lineup.
I'm looking forward to that. Marvin, it's not too late for folks still to attend, even if they haven't already registered, right?
That's exactly right. There's plenty of room at the end, so to speak. We have registration. You can register on site on Tuesday, as early as Tuesday, and really be a part of any of the sessions that are going on through the rest of the week. So I just encourage everybody to get in their car, get on an airplane, get on a bus, just get down to Nashville and join us.
Make your way to Nashville. Again, it's not too late to join us right there in Nashville, as Marvin mentioned. Have questions about how you can do that? Give us a call now at 1-866-USA-BEEF for more details. Our staff is standing by, ready to take your calls. Also tonight, we're asking you to join me and thousands of other cattlemen and women as a member of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. And joining us is reporter Kendall Frazier as he learned more about what that actually means. Hey there, Kendall.
Hey there, Kevin, and thank you. I'm here with Forrest Roberts, the CEO of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Forrest, the NCBA's had some big wins this year. What are some of those highlights?
Yeah, Kendall, 2011 was a great year for the NCBA team, and while it seemed like every day we were focused on that common question of how do we get more people to enjoy beef more often all around the globe, there were several really major milestones that we were able to achieve. First would be a good example is to outline the major checkoff funded research project that we brought forward that over the next several years, we're going to really be able to measure the footprint of our industry, not just from an environmental point of view, but also from an economic point of view, as well as the impact our industry has all across these rural communities that our industry serves. Secondly, we were able to bring forth through a checkoff-funded research project, a human research project that enables us to really tell the story about beef and why beef should be a part of a heart-healthy diet. And then our team, on behalf of our members in Washington, D.C., worked hard all year to really push back on the legislation that's coming down from this current administration in an effective way. These are examples like that proposed gypsum rule, as well as the estate tax that was brought forward, and then last but not least, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. But while at the same time they were pushing back, they were also pulling forward some major outcomes. One example of that would be around these 3 free trade agreements that our team was able to work tirelessly to get approved through the administration. And then last but not least, I think collectively as a team we were able to work together across all of American agriculture to really tell the story of what American agriculture is about in a way that enhances consumer trust in our industry. And that was done through the U.S. Farmers and Ranchers Alliance. So those are just some of the notable wins for our team in 2011, but no doubt a great year.
Forrest, why should a cattleman become an NCBA member?
Well, that's a great question, Kendall. The easy way to answer that is our team works every day on their behalf, not only to create demand for beef all around the globe, but on behalf of our members in Washington, D.C., to create that business environment so that they can have not only a profitable operation, but an operation that they have the freedom to hand down to that next generation. So while we're hard at work on their behalf, that enables our members to be at home in their operations and their farms and ranches across the country.
And finally, Forrest, why should cattlemen attend this big convention next week in Nashville?
In Nashville, we're going to have an opportunity of a lifetime experience for every member and every attendee of the 2012 Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA Trade Show. And what three things we think people will get from that is some education, some engagement with their peers across the country, and last but not least, an opportunity to network with their peers and have a little fun along the way. We think that'll all add up to this opportunity of a lifetime experience every day in Nashville next week.
Thank you, Forrest Roberts, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much for that report, Kendall. And you can pick up the phone right now and join the National Cattlemen's Beef Association tonight. There are also great incentives from Roper, Stetson, and some of our other corporate partners. Give us a call now at 1-866-USA-BEEF or visit us at beefusa.org. Our team is standing by, ready to take your calls. And now, let's return to Tennessee. Some say old number 7 got its name because it was better than the 6th version, or that number 7 was for the 7th wife. All we know is that Jack Daniels took that secret to the grave with him. But he did leave us some of his famous Tennessee whiskey. NCBA President Bill Donald takes us on a tour of the oldest registered distillery in the nation, in the dry town of Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Bill Donald, President of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, and today I'm touring the Jack Daniels Distillery in Lynchburg, Tennessee. Jack Daniels has been a good friend to me, and I hope he's been a good friend to you. We're going to see exactly how all the process works and just what it takes to get a bottle of Jack Daniels in your hands. Well, here we are inside the Visitor Center at the Jack Daniels Distillery. We're joined here by John Smith, who's going to give us our tour guide. John, what do you got for us today?
Morning.
Good morning.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Jack
you.
Daniels Distillery.
There.
We're going to have a good tour today. We're going to show you everything as far as concerning whiskey making, Tennessee whiskey, and let's get started on our tour.
Sounds great. Looking forward to it. Well, here we are at the Rickyard. John, tell us what a rickyard is and what are we looking at here?
As I was growing up, I was always told a rick of wood is a 4x4 by 4 foot tall. Each one of those piles of wood is a rick of wood, hence the word rickyard. And they'll take 4 of those ricks of wood, pile them up underneath our EPA approved hoods. They'll take 140 proof Jack Daniel whiskey straight off the steel, spray that lumber down real good, that whiskey, light a match to it. And they'll let it burn towards a couple hours. Now, towards the end of the burn, they'll start spraying down with water, keep turning into ash, because ash won't do us a bit of good. We need charcoal to make our whiskey. Now, we use 3 grains to make our whiskey. We use great egg yellow corn, which comes from western Kentucky, Alabama, and a little bit from Illinois and Tennessee. Well, we get our malted barley from Montana and Iowa, very good. And our rye comes from western Canada. Now, the other ingredient we use is spring water. We add no sugars, no additives to our whiskey. Why folks around here call it a health drink.
Quite a process. How much grain will you use here in a day?
Right at 20,000 bushels of corn a day.
20,000 bushels of corn.
And all trucked in at night normally. Sure is.
That's a lot of grain. Make a lot of whiskey.
It does, yep. Now this is step 4 distillation. After that mash has been cooked and then it's fermented, it's pumped up on top of the still where it's distilled. Now it'll be dropped down on big colander plates. Now as that mash sifts those plates, you've got steam rising from the bottom, steam in the mash beats in the middle, vapors rise to the top where it's cooled and turned into a liquid. At that time it's piped into copper tubing, goes down into a try box. Now that try box is what you'll see up here. You'll see clear. 140 proof White Lightning Jack Daniel whiskey coming to that try box. Clear as water at that point. Now they call it a try box. That's where they try the whiskey.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, and then it gets its color when they filter it through the charcoal and they age it?
Gets its color out of the barrel.
Okay, when they age it in the barrel.
In the barrel, yes. Now after that mash has been cooked and then fermented, it's pumped up on top of the still where it's distilled. Now that spent mash is pumped up on top of the hill where it's sold to cattle farmers. High in protein, good cattle feed. That's why the local folks around there say we marinate our steaks from the inside out because of that. Now we sell it wet and dry to area farmers and area co-ops for feed, cattle feed. High in protein, good cattle feed. Now we had a local artist out of Franklin, Tennessee sculpt this bronze statue of Jack. It took him about 35 years old. Now Jack was only 5'2". Now they added about 5 inches to the height of his statue to make him a little bit more statuesque looking. Now he's standing up here in area limestone rock up here with me. Now this will be your only chance during the tour where you can get a free shot of Jack on the rocks. So if you don't get up there and hug up an old Jack and you got a camera, we'll be glad to take care of you.
All right, so here we are with some of the commemorative bottles.
Right, fresh off the tour here. This is some of our bottles we've had over the years, commemorative bottles. Now in Lynchburg, you can only buy commemorative bottles. You cannot buy, we don't have a liquor store in Lynchburg, we're a dry county, but we are able to sell commemorative bottles, collector bottles.
With contents?
With contents, yes. You just got to call it that. You can either look at it or drink it. We don't, as long as you buy it.
Can't drink it here.
Can't drink it here. You got to drink it in your house. That's right.
Well, John, thank you so much for the tour. I appreciate it. It's been so illuminating for me. I enjoyed it immensely and had a great tour. Take it back to you, Kevin.
And it's not too late to join us in Tennessee for the 2012 Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show. Call now at 1-866-USA-BEEF for more information and to get answers to any questions you may have. When we return, we'll take a look at the Tennessee Beef Council, an exciting preview of this year's Cattleman's College in Nashville. Plus, we pay a visit to a world-famous stage, the Grand Ole Opry. We'll be right back.
Everything's heating up at your John Deere dealer during the Green Fever sales event. You could win a $45,000 ultimate patio makeover by Belgard, or a brand new Airstream trailer, or one of 50 iPads in the Open Air, Open Road sweepstakes. Get to the Green Fever sales event at your John Deere dealer today for a hot deal, plus your chance to win big. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Sweepstakes ends February 29, 2012. See dealer or visit johndeere.com/greenfever for official rules.
Well, I think a rancher has to be a steward of the land. There's nobody else that can take care of land better than a rancher. When we switched over to the Purina products, it was a step in the right direction.
The difference we see in the cattle is the consistency of their nutrition.
The cattle hold their condition a lot better throughout the whole year.
It does make a difference that we can see, day in and day out.
Take the 60-day challenge and save up to $55 on Purina feed. Sign up at purinadifference.com.
I'm Jackie Moore, Joplin Regional Stockyards. Here at the Joplin Stockyards, we strive to be 4 leaders within the industry to bring to our customers the most valuable tools that we can bring to them to enhance the profit in their businesses. You know, through our value-added programs, our co-mingling programs, our video auctions, and all types of things that we have tried to bring to them to make them more profitable and make them sustainable within our industry in a very tough climate that they live in.
Grow more low-cost forage and improve grazing access by clearing out weeds and brush with these Dow AgroSciences herbicides. See your Dow AgroSciences representative or visit rangeandpasture.com.
Welcome back to this special live edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. Join cattlemen across the country as a member of NCBA. Give us a call at 1-866-USA-BEEF. We have great incentives for members from our partners at John Deere, Cabela's, and many others. That number again is 1-866-USA-BEEF. We're also answering your questions about the 2012 Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show. It's next week in Nashville, Tennessee. Checkoff dollars are used in a variety of ways to promote beef through research, education, and innovation. Managing those dollars efficiently is the most important thing the Federation of Qualified State Beef Councils does. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Brad Bulla takes us to Nashville, Tennessee, where Valerie Bass and her team at the Tennessee Beef Council turn opportunities for beef advocacy into realities.
Well, in Tennessee, we're lean and mean.
Being lean and mean affords Valerie Bass and her team the chance to find creative ways to make the most of their checkoff dollars.
We try to maximize checkoff dollars by using other industry partners like the Cattlemen's Association when we do producer communications. We work with our Farm Bureau, with Ag in the Classroom, to extend educational material through that avenue. We also work with our dairy friends. We've done some wonderful billboards throughout the state with a financial co-op partnership between those two. So we just try to maximize checkoff dollars wherever possible.
50 cents of the federally mandated $1 per head beef checkoff goes toward funding individual state programs. The other half of the dollar goes to support national programs. The ultimate goal of all these checkoff-funded programs is to bring better beef awareness to the consumer.
We're trying to focus on consumers and getting the word out to them in whatever avenue that may be. That may be through dietitians and health professionals, the health benefits of beef, consumer marketing. We work with restaurants, and we've had a couple of beef backer winners from Tennessee over the years, so we're proud about that. And we really do try to do a good job to get the word out with them on the many aspects of beef.
Valerie is able to do this and more with her state's checkoff dollars, including host a beef-focused culinary class.
We have a great consumer kitchen. We have a brand new facility here that we're able to host cooking schools in. We host dietitians in. We host college groups in. Just about anybody that we can share beef information with.
Just like cooking a great meal from dozens of individual ingredients, individual states contribute at the national level to accomplish what they couldn't on their own.
When we send half of those dollars to our national organization, it's not really going to an organization, it's going to a thought, really. It's going toward a common goal, which is to produce things that I as a state can't do, like research for health issues, research for beef safety, things that we can all benefit from, but that I could never afford on my own, or our state could never afford on its own. The materials that we get through health research, I'm able to distribute those to doctors and dietitians. They use them with their clients, and you can see how it just keeps going and going and going. And if it weren't for that state-national partnership, we wouldn't be able to research, produce, and have a physical piece to share with the general public. We are looking for every way possible to treat those dollars very, very respectfully and manage them as well as possible.
The opportunities that the beef checkoff brings to consumers begins with cattle producers from across the country.
The people that we work for, the cattle producers, are, they are just salt of the earth people, and I just try to do the very, very best that I can for them every day. Producers can be proud of how their dollars are being used.
Reporting from Nashville, Tennessee, I'm Brad Bulla for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
To learn more about the beef checkoff, visit us at cattlemantocattleman.org. One of the most popular events at the convention each year is the Cattlemen's College, sponsored by Pfizer Animal Health. And joining me in the studio is Lance Zimmerman. He's a market analyst with CattleFax and one of this year's speakers at Cattlemen's College. Thanks so much for coming to the show.
Thank you, Kevin.
Well, Lance, first of all, tell folks what they can expect out of Cattlemen's College in general.
Absolutely. Cattlemen's College has a long-going relationship with being at NCBA's annual conference. What's exciting about it is producers get the chance to really kick off their time in Nashville right away with a great educational event. They'll spend 3/4 of a day learning about anything that relates as specifically to their operation as they want, or as broad and as it applies to the entire industry. And so it really gives them an opportunity to engage themselves right away in a discussion that they can take back to their operations and hopefully make them better cattle producers.
There are a wide variety of sessions that folks can choose from, but I'd like you to highlight a couple of sessions that you're going to be speaking and presenting at.
Absolutely. I get the chance to actually participate in 2 sessions. The first one's with the rest of my Cattle Facts team, basically helping producers understand the risks that are in the business climate that they operate in today. And then later, right after that session, I'll have an opportunity to talk to cattle producers about what feeders want in the calves that they're producing or purchasing to produce later on down the road. Get the chance basically to share Superior Livestock video auction data, explaining basically how buyers pay for calves based on the value-added traits that they're produced with.
Very good. Well, that should be very interesting. And you know, Lance, I can't let you leave the show without kind of putting you on the spot on these cattle markets. They've been red hot lately. What's your prediction of the future?
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret that the cattle markets have been on fire in 2012. But I think, you know, one of the things we got to look at is we can be optimistic that these higher prices might have some staying ability, but we also have to realize that ultimately the consumer has to pay the bill for the higher beef and cattle prices we're seeing. And so hopefully we can have some trust that we're producing a product that the consumer wants, and that as this economy recovers, they're going to be willing to pay that higher price for a great eating experience. And so as we look ahead, continue to manage costs, be optimistic about what's ahead, and keep a watchful eye on making sure you produce something consumers like.
Very good. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks, Kevin.
And you can attend Cattleman's College as well by joining us at the 2012 Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show in Nashville, Tennessee. Call now to ask questions about the convention or to join as a member of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. The number again is 1-866-USA-BEEF. We'll be right back.
These days, more cattlemen choose Draxxin to fight BRD than any other brand. Here's why.
It works. We have fewer repulls, and the ones that we do repull respond, and we have fewer chronics in the end.
To retreat anything it's a lot more expensive than using Draxxin as a first time.
And the evidence backs up what most cattlemen already know. Draxxin cuts retreats by 50%. So talk to your veterinarian and check the online calculator at Draxxin.com. You'll see why Draxxin should be your first choice to fight BRD.
Basically what it's allowed us to do with our operation is run more cattle through in a given period of time. It's just really been a good product to use.
Do not use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older. Do not use in calves to be processed for veal. Draxxin has a pre-slaughter withdrawal time of 18 days. Please visit Draxxin.com or call 1-888-DRAXXIN for more information.
Join Superior Livestock at the 2012 Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA Trade Show, February 1st through the 4th in Nashville, Tennessee. Stop by the booth, share a cup of coffee, and talk business. Buying and selling cattle the Superior way. You'll find more information on our internet bidding program, Superior Click to Bid, and other internet marketing options through Superior's country page. Stop in Friday morning and witness a live internet auction. For more details, go to our website, superiorlivestock.com.
Back to this special live edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. Join the National Cattlemen's Beef Association today by calling 1-866-USA-BEEF. And our team is also taking your questions tonight about the 2012 Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show. It's next week in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's an event you won't want to miss. And here with us to talk again about the importance of NCBA membership is Kendall Frazier. Kendall, who do you have with you tonight?
Thank you, Kevin. I've got Kenny Rogers, a cattleman from eastern Colorado. And Kenny, tell us about your operation.
Well, thanks, Kendall.
We're a diverse farming and ranching operation where we have our primary interest in the seed stock business, where we sell Angus cattle every year. But we've been around for quite a while. I'm the 4th generation. My son and his wife, who help us, will be the 5th, and their son will be the 6th generation. In 1999, we received a Centennial Farming Award from the state of Colorado, so we've been boots on the ground, same piece of property for over 100 years now.
Kenny, why are you an NCBA member?
Well, through my experiences when I came back with working with my family on the ranch, where we're selling bulls out there and speaking with a lot of the customers, they're in surrounding states right around Colorado. But in speaking with them, I started to learn about the situations that they were involved with that caused them economic grief and hardships. And it was just through that, I think primarily my interest peaked in looking how can we solve that, and is working through organizations such as the local state cattlemen's group to formulate policy to take to a larger national cattlemen's group such as NCBA. And I think about just a few days ago I heard that we are now about 1% of the population, so we don't have a very loud voice. So if you don't have an organization that's effective in getting your message across, you're pretty well doomed. So NCBA is that avenue for us to formulate policy and take out and do where the work garners us some good out in the public.
Kenny, why should cattlemen attend the NCBA convention?
Well, as I said, the various states will formulate their policy, and that's grassroots driven. So they get the policy together and they bring it up there. And when they meet with the other states, that gives them an opportunity to take their policy and try to merge with other states in forming a larger policy for the national cattlemen's group to take forth. Because, as I said, our voice is not very well heard if we're not one body out there. But when we unite, we have a very strong voice through NCBA, whether it's on international marketing or even the national issues that we deal with, all the myriad of policy issues through EPA or anything such as that.
Thank you, Kenny Rogers, a cattleman from eastern Colorado. Now back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kendall. We'll look forward to seeing you in Nashville, and maybe you can talk Kenny Rogers into singing a couple of his big hits while he's in Nashville. And if you have questions about the convention registration or entertainment, lodging options, just give us a call at 1-866-USA-BEEF. Also, consider joining me and thousands of cattlemen and women as members of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. It's fitting that the 2012 Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA trade show is taking place in Nashville. Tennessee is home to a vibrant and unique cattle industry and a state cattle organization that works hard to protect and promote the beef industry there. Cattleman to Cattleman reporter Sharon Alseth has more.
The Tennessee Cattlemen's Association prides itself on representing the state's cattle producers and their interests. And the association's executive vice president says its membership is expanding.
We've got about 5,000 members now, and hopefully we can continue to grow. We've grown here in the last couple of years. A lot of interest in it, and people want to become more involved and learn a little bit more about the industry.
Interest in Tennessee's cattle industry is on the rise. Tobacco settlement funds are encouraging more people in the state to shift their operations to beef cattle. Charles says his organization works to educate producers and to bring them in contact with others in the industry.
We have local meetings that producers can attend. We have state meetings that people can attend, and hopefully gain knowledge just by being around other cattle producers and learning from some of the programs we put on.
Beef production is now the leading agricultural enterprise in Tennessee. The state also leads the nation in the number of producers trained in the Beef Quality Assurance Program, a program run out of the association's offices.
I think it has to do with the fact that the beef producers do want to put out a good quality beef product, and then also it has to do with that they file for ag enhancement dollars that the state helps to match monies that they put forth either in buying a bull or hay barns or that kind of thing.
The Tennessee Cattlemen's Association works hard to be a valuable resource for its members. Through communications outlets like its monthly magazine, it keeps members up to date on issues that affect them directly.
We always let them know of deadlines that are coming up and things like that, and give them a link to the website, or sometimes run applications in there. And we have scholarships through the association that's available to the youth, so any member of their children or grandchildren, are available for that.
The association also stresses the importance of Tennessee cattle producers becoming members of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, which represents their interests on a national level.
I wish everybody could see when we go to Washington, D.C. and see what our National Cattlemen's Beef Association is doing, because they're really working hard representing us, and there's so many environmental issues and animal welfare issues and trade issues that are so important to cattle producers that if only producers knew how important it was on the national level to have that representation, I think anybody would join and be happy to be a part of it.
For his part, Charles is excited the 2012 Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA Trade Show is in his association's backyard this year. And he sees the Nashville event as a unique opportunity for anyone with an interest in the cattle industry.
Get a feel for just how big an industry we're a part of. It's amazing, the cow-calf guys and what they're doing, and then, all the other aspects of the industry, and everybody's there representing themselves, the pharmaceuticals, the feed folks, and, all the different breeds, and it's just a real opportunity to get an idea of what the entire industry is a part of and how big it is, and just educate yourself.
Reporting from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, I'm Sharon Alseth for NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman.
The Tennessee Cattlemen's Association will be hosting several events in Nashville. For more details, check us out at cattlemantocattleman.org. It's an institution in country music, the Grand Ole Opry, and it's one of our fabulous venues at this year's Cattle Industry Annual Convention. NCBA President Bill Donald had a chance to sit down with the CEO of this prestigious institution.
Hi there, I'm Bill Donald, President of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Today, I'm in the Grand Ole Opry, and I am talking with Pete Fisher, who's the General Manager of the Grand Ole Opry, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the history and some of the events that have gone on here. So, what about some of the history? A lot of history here, Pete.
Boy, there sure is. The Opry started in 1925 as the WSM Barn Dance, and it wasn't until a couple years later where it adopted the name Grand Ole Opry. And the Opry for years has been really a star-making machine for country music performers, and is really kind of the pinnacle of any country music artist's career, is to be known as a Grand Ole Opry member. We currently have a cast just under 70 Opry members, and through the history of the Opry, there's probably been close to 300 individuals that can call themselves Grand Ole Opry members. And so through the years, the Opry, really, we like to call it it's the show that made country music famous. Really, it started at the offices of the National Life and Accident Insurance Company back in 1925. Basically, National Life started a radio station to advertise its products, insurance. And so WSM Radio was the station that carries the Opry to this day, and did back in 25. WSM is a moniker after the slogan of National Life, "We Shield Millions."
Oh.
And so in a couple years later, the Grand Ole Opry name was adopted because the announcer at the time was playing music from selections largely heard from Grand Opera. And so when he was on the air, he introduced the hillbilly portion of the radio broadcast as music from the Grand Ole Opry. And so the name stuck, and people started showing up to watch this radio show. And that resulted in the Opry moving to various locations, from the National Life and Accident Insurance buildings to the Hillsborough Theater, which is now called the Belcourt Theater, to the Dixie Tabernacle, to the War Memorial Auditorium, then on to the Ryman Auditorium in 1943. And the Ryman really is known as the most famous former home of the Opry, where it played until 1974, where it came out here to the Opry House in March of '74. And so the Opry House has been the longest home of the Grand Ole Opry. And back in last year of May of 2010, the Opry House was severely impacted by the floods in Nashville, and most areas of this building had at least 4 feet of water in it. And so the Opry, the very next night, relocated to another venue and continued to do so throughout the city of Nashville for that summer. And so now we're back in this beautifully renovated Opry House, which features 18 incredibly themed dressing rooms, as this one we are in right now. We call this Wagon Master. This is where Porter Wagner's dressing room was for many years that he was alive and performing on the Opry. And so when folks come and enjoy a backstage tour, they can see these, not only these beautifully decorated dressing rooms, but they can actually end their tour on stage of the Opry and even sing a song.
Well, that's pretty neat. It's a rich history. Ranchers enjoy that tradition and history, and that's certainly prevalent here throughout the whole Opry experience. And as we look at, we're looking out there at the stage, there's a center stage of the auditorium, and I believe there's some history behind that.
That's right, yeah. When the management moved the Grand Ole Opry from the Ryman Auditorium to the Opry House in 1974, they wanted to carry forward the tradition, and the best way to do that was to actually take some of the stage planks of wood from the Ryman stage and create a circle at center stage here at the Opry House. So when performers today perform on the Grand Ole Opry, they're literally standing in the same place where Ernest Tubb and Hank Williams and Patsy Cline once stood.
Well, that's amazing. Well, that certainly does get performers to want to be here and be part of that great tradition.
It's one of the most special performances that any country music performer will enjoy is a shot to play on the Grand Ole Opry.
Well, as we look around at some of the quotes on some of the walls from some of the performers here, you can surely see it's a highlight of their life and of their show career.
Yeah,
one of the things that we're doing is we're going to have Cowboy at the Opry here in February. And
that's right, yeah, Cowboy Night at the Opry on February 3rd. We're putting together a real special show for the Cattlemen's Association, and it's going to feature Country Music Hall of Famers Charlie Pride, Little Jimmy Dickens, Grand Ole Opry stars, and comedian Henry Cho, and we also might have a few other surprises for you. So we're looking forward to having everyone. It's going to be a great night.
Well, it should be, and it's going to be an exclusive night just for NCBA members, and we hope to fill this place.
Oh, well, we're looking forward to it. It'll be a great time.
It should be great. Pete, thanks so much for your hospitality. Really appreciate the tour, and we'll turn it back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, Bill. We're taking your calls right now if you'd like to join us in Nashville, Tennessee for the 2012 Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show. Also, please consider joining the NCBA as a member of the largest and oldest cattle organization. That number is 1-866-USA-BEEF. Join the thousands of members from across the country to get your voice heard and make a difference. Again, we have a team standing by ready to take your call when you call us at 1-866-USA-BEEF. We'll be right back.
For over 35 years, Kenner Simmental Ranch of North Dakota has successfully produced quality bulls by stressing genetics and respecting the customer's needs.
By coming to our bull sale, you'll find that our bulls can compete nationwide. We stand behind them, and disposition, performance, calving ease, it's all there.
Kenner offers a variety of bulls, purebred and crossbred. Every bull and heifer sold is guaranteed to your satisfaction and backed by years of rigorous testing.
Our customers, number one, and we want to do everything we can to be there for them.
This year's Kenner Bull Sale is in Bismarck on Saturday, February 11th. Videos, a sale catalog, and other information are available on the ranch website. Contact us by phone at 701-466-2800 or online at KennerSimmental.com. The Kenner Simmental Annual Bull Sale in Bismarck. We'll see you there.
The secret to finding more buyers for your cattle is no longer a secret. CattleExchange.com is like no other site. It brings the greater ease of use, detailed information, and searchability found in sites like Cars.com and Autotrader.com to the cattle industry. Upload photos and video to attract more buyers and share greater detail in your listing. Cattle buyers and sellers are connecting in ways they never imagined Go to www.cattle-exchange.com and discover the secret to better selling.
Hello everybody, I'm Marty Stewart. Join me in Nashville, Tennessee as we take a ticket to ride. It's for the 2012 Cattle Industry Annual Convention and NCBA Trade Show. It's a great chance for networking, education, and fun, and it's your chance to see an exclusive event at one of my favorite venues, the Grand Ole Opry. It's February 1st through the 4th. Now get details at beefusa.org and check me out on the Marty Stewart Show on RFD TV.
Let's face it, you don't think a lot about your trailer hitch. You use it and forget it. We understand. But at B&W, we think about it. Short nights, long hauls, never-ending chores. The unthinkable. We think about it all, so you don't have to. B&W. Trusted.
Lots of cowmen put a little extra into their calves, hoping it'll bring them another nickel at the sale, like preconditioning, early weaning, or for specialty markets. But how can the buyer trust your claim? Old vaccine bottles or your ratty tally book? Truth is, this little green ear tag will be all you need. That's what IMI Global does, third-party verification. The seal of approval, like the nutrition label on your Twinkie. Did I say Twinkie? IMIGlobal.com. Cowboys, for the most part, are male chauvinist pigs. Unfortunately, the women we hang out with are not the least bit intimidated, so what's the point? When I suggested she do dishes and later stoke the fire, because I felt that was her proper place, she calmly took the custard pie and plate of pickled beets and used it to redecorate my face. Now I know this sounds unsavory in this modern day and age when male sensitivity is in, but I think it's biological. Congenital at best, but women see things differently than men, like the importance of a curtain or a fragrance in the air, and yes, the omnipresent potted plants. They concern themselves with beauty and a certain ambiance, while I'm content to spray the place for ants. But in fairness to my jackass friends, it's not true that we don't care. We're just looking from a different point of view. To illustrate my reasoning and perhaps to shed some light, I offer this example as a clue. I was sitting with a couple when I heard the man remark, "My dear, I think I've seen that dress before." Yes, you have. I was wearing it the last time we went out. I believe it was 2004. Then she chastised him severely, and I'm sure she had a point, and I'll admit her wisdom right up front. But my simple cowboy logic led me down a different path, like blind men feeling up the elephant. If women understood our thinking, they might cut us all some slack. Maybe their attitude might soften. When he recognized his spouse's dress, well, a thought occurred to me, well, the crazy fool's taking her out too often. This is Baxter Black from out there.
You're watching a special live edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. Welcome back. Our field reporter, Kendall Frazier, is back with us and has another word about membership. Kendall?
Thank you, Kevin. I'm with Kate Maher and Dan McCarty. They work for Kate, what's it mean to be an NCBA member?
Kendall, as an NCBA member, it means that you have representation in D.C. We have folks in D.C. who put their boots on the hill every day while you take care of business at home. The issues are hard and they're many, and we have a lot of groups that are working against us, and we have people there every day fighting for you.
Dan, we've got some great incentives right now if you join NCBA. Tell us about those.
Yeah, Kendall, we have a great package for NCBA members right now. It starts with a product offer, a free product from our friends over at Behringer Ingelheim. Additionally, NCBA members can get discounts on certain lines of equipment from Caterpillar and John Deere, and discounts on gift cards that they purchase for purchases through Cabela's. Our newest incentive program is with Roper Stetson Apparel and Footwear, where new members can get up to 50% off their online purchase. But most importantly, NCBA members have the ability to participate in the policy development process of the national beef industry.
Kate, that big convention next week in Nashville, why should cattlemen go?
It's just like Dan said, is come and exercise your right to participate and help shape the policy of your organization. This is your chance to do it right now.
Thank you, Dan and Kate. And Kevin, I would just encourage all cattlemen, if at all possible, you can attend that big convention in Nashville, Tennessee next week. It will be well worth the time and money that you invest in attending that meeting. So back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kendall. I totally agree with that. Please join us in Nashville and as a member of NCBA. Our team is ready to take your calls at 1-866-USA-BEEF. Give us a call now. Thanks so much for joining us for this week's special live edition of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. We'll see you again next week on both the 31st and the 1st with special live editions of the show from the convention. Again, come see us in Nashville, and if you can't, we'll see you right back here on RFD TV.